guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about Arcadian. So this is an interesting situation, I would say, because personally I've been looking forward to this film for a while. I mean, it's not one of my most anticipated by any means, but I knew about the existence of this film and I was waiting for it to come out in theaters for me to watch it, but for some reason I never really heard or saw anyone talk about the film. So it was pretty odd, everything that led me towards this film. It isn't anything like major, but it's just interesting and I'll talk more about it when I get to my thoughts. But yes, so this one came out here and I decided let's go watch it. It's a horror movie with Nicolas Cage that was at the South by Southwest Festival. Let's just check it out and let's get to my video. So if you don't know what Arcadian is about, which I assume you don't since I never really saw anyone talk about the film. So this film is set in a dystopian future and the film follows a family that is terrorized by an evil entity at night. And that's pretty much it. That's how I can put it without giving too much away. As far as the cast goes, as I said, it stars Nicolas Cage, but it also stars Jaden Martell, who ever since he starred in it, it's one of the kids that I've been paying more attention to his work. A lot of these kids stayed in the horror genre, which is interesting, and he is one of those that has been doing a lot more horror instead of other genres. So it was the main reason why I wanted to watch the film, besides being a horror, and obviously Nicolas Cage made it even more interesting. So it stars those two as well as Maxwell Jenkins and Sadie Soverall. Both faces were familiar to me. The girl, I know now that she starred in Saltburn, but Maxwell, I don't exactly know where I've seen him. His face is familiar, but I don't know. I checked his filmography and I don't think I've seen anything else that he has done. But so that's the cast, and now let's get to my thoughts. So, as I said, I never really saw anyone talk about this film, to the point that I thought it wasn't out in the US yet, but it is. It came out last month, in mid-April. And after watching the film, I get why no one really talks about it. It's not because it's a bad film, it's because it's a really basic film. This one takes a lot of inspiration from A Quiet Place and It Comes at Night. It's just not as good as either of those films, and I'm not even that much of a fan of It Comes at Night. I love A Quiet Place, but It Comes at Night, I'm not really a huge fan of it, but I can see that it is a better film and I can see why some people really like it. I'm just not really into it. And this film is just those two put together, but in a really basic way. I do have to give it props for the creature design, because those creatures are really different from anything that I've seen, and they are creepy, they are weird, and they are really unique. So I love that. The way they like move and what they do is also kind of different. So I like that aspect of the film. There are a lot of things that make this film like good. It's pretty basic, as I said, but there are like little things that stand out. The Creatures is one of them. It's also one of those films that made me really angry towards a few characters. So I guess that counts for something, because when a film gets such a strong response out of you, it counts for something. Like, it means that it is doing something, and it's bringing something out of you. So I like that. That's one of the other things that I didn't really like being angry, but I liked that I was feeling something. And there's one specific scene that it's so good. So I'm just gonna say that it's the one where Jaden Martell's character is taking a nap. If you've seen the film, you know which scene it is, and it doesn't give any spoilers away. In case you haven't seen the film yet, that scene was so intense. I was gripping my seat, and yeah, that one was such a good scene, and I wished the movie kept that same tone, but it goes in a different direction. That it was interesting, but it just wasn't as good as that scene. That scene, so good. Everything else was just fine. It wasn't bad, and it wasn't that great either. At the end of the day, it's a fine film, and I guess let's go to my scores. So overall, I'm gonna give the film a 3 out of 5. It's slightly above average because of those little things that I've mentioned, like the creatures and like getting such a strong response out of me, and that scene in particular. So there are good things about the film. It's just the base of the story, it's pretty generic, and it doesn't really do anything different. Cinematography, I give it a 2.5 out of 5 because there are a few scenes that are really good. There's some shots that I really liked, but they do one thing that I just can't stand, which are sudden zoom ins. When it's in a comedy, it makes sense, and there's just specific times where where it works for me, but in this film it didn't work at all. So I had to tone it down a little bit. And originality, I give it a 2 out of 5, mainly for the creatures, because I think those creatures are pretty original. Everything else, it's not really that original. I've compared it to A Quiet Place and It Comes at Night. So yeah, I bet there's other movies like that are pretty similar, that this one is pretty similar to as well. So not that original apart from the creatures. So guys, these are my thoughts on Arcadian. Let me know in the comments if you've heard about the film, if you've watched it. If you did, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't seen it, let me know if you're planning on watching it. If this is the first time you're hearing about the film, I don't know, did it make you interested in a film? It's not one that I would say it's a waste of time. I think you can get something out of it. I would just say maybe watch it at home. I also think this is a Shudder original. So yeah, maybe it is available on Shudder right now. And if it is, yeah, it's a pretty short film. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, there's good things about it that, yeah, make it worth a watch. But yeah, it's nothing too different. So yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!